We are
Hi,
back
Solon, how you
with,
doing?
yes, we are live. We are back with Mr. Todd Rhoden. Todd, is that a correct way of pronouncing your name?
Yes,
Ro-
Todd. That's
no,
fine. Todd
Rhoden.
Rhoden.
Your last name, Rhoden.
Rhoden, yes. How
Thank you,
you doing?
sir. I am fine, thank you. Todd
Thanks for
is,
having me on your show.
sorry?
Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Can you just adjust your screen a little bit so we see more of your head? Yes. I think that's
Is this better?
uh, just a little bit more. Oh, okay. All
All right.
right. So Todd Rhoden of Crimson Dawn Manufacturing. Todd, thanks for your time and for appearing on CWS as it is. Could you please tell us a little bit about who Todd Rhoden is and how
That,
how did you get involved in your business?
definitely. So I mean, a little bit about me. I'm Todd Rhoden from Kingston, Jamaica, and grew up in the business. It's a family-run business. It was founded in 1975, Crimson Dawn Manufacturing. We're a sportswear manufacturer and apparel items, and we. As I said, I grew up in the family business from a young age, being around the textiles, being around the machines, and I guess at the end of the day, that's where my heart lies. And I've recently come back to take over the business and, implement some new initiatives and innovation to take it to the next level. Um, and Crimson Dawn has been a stalwart company throughout the Caribbean over those 40 years. We've been on the backs of some of the well-known names, from the Sir Donald Quarry right up to the Merlin Otis and the Usain Bolts. We've been on the backs and supporting the sporting fraternity throughout the Caribbean.
Let me let me ask you this, Todd.
Yeah.
You obviously have grown up in this business. Do you remember where you were or how old you were when they first started?
Well, I wasn't around at the time. I came a few years, maybe a decade or so after the startup. However, my father, being in the textile industry, which Jamaica had a thriving textile and apparel industry. Um, he had the touch and the feel for the fabrics and the knitting, and so he eventually branched out on his own to manufacturing high quality t-shirts for affordable pricing in the Jamaican local market, and soon after that it developed into where people, as we know in the Caribbean, we're very color coded or color oriented within schools and teams, and we represent our colors so strongly, so that we started getting the requests of custom orders or custom designs for these products, and so that's it developed into colors for sportswear, for track and field, all the major sports. And here we are today, 41 years later.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your role in all of this. You said in the beginning that you came back to sort of revolutionize the operation and take it to a whole new level.
Well, even just about me a little bit. When I can recall when I was 13 years old, I saved up my little stipends or my little savings, and I actually tried to start up my own T-shirt company where I purchased my own airbrush machines and so forth, to kind of jumpstart my whole interest in the fashion field or the fashion industry. And it didn't quite work out so well in terms of my artistic ability. However, what I realized I had a natural talent for was the color coding and the putting together of designs and colors matching, and especially in the Caribbean, of that lively, vibrant colors. And I actually started, just out of the factory, utilizing the fabrics that I had already on hand, putting together my own designs. And so fast forward, I went overseas to study abroad, and I decided to pursue a career in fashion merchandising, which is really retail management. How do you display the items out to the consumers? And that's where my love for understanding the business side of things came about. And I dabbled in a few other industries. I worked well in the community-based programs such as No Child Left Behind, offering supplemental education to the economically disadvantaged communities. And so I developed a knack for development, for business, operating. And obviously that entrepreneurial spirit had to come out of me, where I decided that I had garnered enough business experience or global experience from all of my different work experiences, that it was time for me to now come and take over Crimson Dawn. And
when did you return?
I returned in 2012.
2012. So it has been 4 years.
Correct.
What have you learned about the business that you didn't know before in the 4 years?
Well, I can tell you this much, sir. No textbook, no education can prepare you well enough to do the job that it takes to be an entrepreneur. You have to have a strong heart, a strong will, a desire, a passion, a love for whatever it is you do, because there are going to be times where you're going to be getting punches left, right, and center. However, it's that drive that keeps you going. And that's one of the major lessons that I have learned over these 4 years.
What did you discover about yourself?
I would say within the last year and a half. I mean, we've had many different challenges locally. The fluctuation of the exchange rate causes a lot of challenges. And I have to also look ahead. I have to look, how am I going to take a 40-year-old company and take it to that next level? And it takes a lot of planning and creativity to withstand all of these challenges.
Let's talk a little bit about your plans. What would you say are some of your immediate plans for transforming the company?
I mean, definitely, focusing on a lot of these challenges and try to create solutions. So right now in the Caribbean, renewable energy efficiency, process management or supply chain management and operational management is key. Data reporting is key, because without the data to make real-time decisions, you will always be a step behind, or you're always trying to catch up. So so right now it's all about implementing a proper structure, implementing however I can reduce my input costs, whether it's from the textiles, whether it's from the energy costs, and become a little bit more efficient, a little bit more competitive with the high cost of imports. I mean, you as you know, imports are a very competitive area for manufacturers in the Caribbean, because persons can now go online and one click away they can order something from Amazon, or they can order something from Alibaba, and it creates that competitive area, and I have to continuously strive to be competitive. And so focusing on these areas is what I'm trying to do within the next 3 to 5 years to create a competitive advantage here for my company in Jamaica and Caribbean.
This company, Crimson Dawn Manufacturing, has been servicing the Caribbean for over 35 years.
Absolutely.
Right? Do you see yourself, or do you see this company servicing the ABE countries, the US, UK, Canada. Do you see that?
Definitely. I mean, we have our diaspora for Jamaica alone is probably larger than the current population of the island, and so we strive to be able to cater to that market eventually. We do a bit of exports to the U.S. because you have the Caribbean diaspora that they take part in the sports that we do, so netball and cricket, in the Northeast, Connecticut and Indiana and those areas, we will get one or two customers who know our product from when they were growing up, and they know that they can get the color and the designs that they want. They can get the tailored adjustments that they want, and they can guarantee the quality. Just based on our reputation for over the 40 years. We have persons who come up to us and even today saying, in 1980, I had gotten a tracksuit from Crimson Dawn and I'm still wearing that tracksuit today. And I'm like, man, look, that's such a legacy to have. And I want to continue developing on that and going above and beyond throughout the Caribbean and to the world, as we say, from Jamaica to the world.
So, if you were sitting in front of me 10 years from now,
correct,
telling me about your accomplishments and your achievements, what would you be telling me, Todd?
Well, I want to take it back to the grassroots, where our implementations benefit or impact not just the company but impact the communities around us, whether it's in Jamaica, whether it's in Barbados or in Guyana or Trinidad. The communities are being developed through my efforts, and we all know that sports has a way of bringing communities together. Yes, we have a little bit of rivalry, but a lot of times it's friendly rivalry. In 2 years, I hope to see Crimson Dawn at a level again where we are on the backs of majority of our countries, our national countries that are being represented in different tournaments. 2020, which is big now. Crimson Dawn needs to be a part of that again. And that's where we're working towards. So I'm hoping in the next 2 years, you'll be seeing Crimson Dawn a lot more on ESPN or on TV or even in our regional area of sports max or seeing TV.
What are some of your products, Todd?
Well, as I said, we do customized sportswear and team uniforms. We supply the schools, the clubs, hotels, corporate companies or corporate teams. We do full cricket uniforms. We do basketball uniforms, netball uniforms, soccer uniforms. We also, we venture out into a few other apparel items. So we do like the dry fit polo shirts with corporate branding on them. And that can be also custom designed to fit your corporate look. We do like for the hotels, we'll do chef uniforms. We'll do the water sports. So like a lot of the resorts have their water teams that handle the scuba diving, or they handle the jet skis and the parasailing. We provide the water uniforms for these hotels. So that's a little highlight of the type of products that we offer. And
what happens, Todd, or has it ever happened where you have so many orders that it is difficult to meet the demand? Has that ever happened before?
In some cases, yes, but however, we have room for capacity. You have to recall too, in the late 70s, early 80s, at that time, the apparel industry was booming. The apparel industry had over 35,000 people employed in Jamaica. And so over the years, as the market opened up and, the different trade agreements started occurring, you have a rollback of the employment and so forth. And so Crimson Dawn has had to scale down a bit. However, we have room for capacity. So now it's just, as I said earlier, implementing the proper structure, the proper efficiencies, and becoming more competitive to the global market. And so facing those challenges always comes down to the access to raw materials, access to the market in terms of delivery, or whether it's shipping or logistics. But in terms of production, it's never usually a challenge for us because we have our timelines set, and most of our orders are order specific or team specific.
Todd, let
And
me
so
let me ask you this. You went away, studied, came back, and you're very passionate and committed to taking this company beyond its limits. What were your parents' reaction when you returned, and that you're so committed to transforming this business?
Could you repeat that part again?
What are your parents' reaction that you
Okay,
returned and
so
you're so committed to this business?
absolutely. I mean, they support me 100%. My parents have built this legacy, so they're looking forward for me to carry it on, carry the torch. And so, in every way how they can lend support to me, they find every avenue, and they're just looking for me to have that breakthrough with my new ideas and my new innovations, and slow and steadily have that breakthrough. And as I can say, they've been supporting me 100%.
What is
I can't say it enough.
What is your deepest fear and concern about doing business in Jamaica as a young entrepreneur?
Doing business in Jamaica as a young entrepreneur would be the not knowing what lies ahead. I saw you made a tweet or a post earlier saying that sometimes you just have to take the do out of the doubt, and that's what I'm doing right now, Salman. I don't know what lies ahead. However, deep down in my heart, I feel that I can penetrate and make this thing work, and it will. And Jamaica is on the map. I mean, for a small country of 3 million people, we are sending waves out there through the Olympics, through music, through culture, through food, and I want to be able to develop my company throughout the Caribbean and bring the Caribbean together and let us move forward as a unit.
Let me go to the chat room. Nick Magdi said, we need to buy and build Caribbean. Not saying to do away with anything outside of the region, but we need to build and buy Caribbean. Keep up the fight, Todd.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much.
Todd, what do you say to encourage more young people to become entrepreneurs?
Just believe in yourself. I would say to the young entrepreneurs to dream big. You can do it. Don't feel that you're inadequate. You can do it. You're more powerful beyond measure than you know. You just have to be positive. You have to put together a good plan of action and stick with it. Don't give up, because you never know how close you are to that diamond in the rough, or how close you are to that gold mine. You just have to keep digging, keep swimming, keep moving, and you will be successful, and you will achieve your goals. And just keep dreaming big.
You keep working, Todd. You are passionate. You're committed.
Thank
There are
you,
lots
man.
of young
I greatly
people,
appreciate it.
right? You've grown up in this thing. You've grown up and you've met a business, and you went abroad. You studied. You furthered your education. You came back and you're committed to taking this business further. Now
Absolutely.
you have something to relate to. What about young people who have never been in business before, don't have a family who's been in business to give them that kind of drive? Do you think you have an advantage in that you were exposed?
I think I do. However, there was a video on YouTube. I can't recall. It was based out of the Asian countries. However, there was a young girl who wanted to sell popsicles or icicles and or fresh fruit. I don't recall exactly what it was. However, she would put her basket on her bicycle and ride to the market, and she would not sell one thing. And her mom told her, go to the market, see how the vendors are selling, understand how people are buying, and then maybe you try it again. And what she saw was how the vendors were calling out to the customers, how they were interacting with them, the signage. And these are the things that we have access to every day. I mean, you have the plazas in front of you can walk through. And that was one of the biggest things that I used to love to do, window shop. I would walk into every sports store, Nike, Champs, Foot Locker, whoever. I'd walk in and I would be feeling the fabrics. I'd be looking at the shorts, checking the stitching. That's what I love to do, and that's what I did. And I continue to do it, and that's what enhances me, because it drives me to always want to do better. It drives me to figure out how can I make my product just as comparable to these big name brands, and be a force to reckon with within the Caribbean. And that's what I do.
You Crimson, how should I put
Crimson
this?
Dawn, yeah.
Yeah, Crimson Dawn Manufacturing would be nothing without a team, without its team. What do you think? What do you think are two of your team's most valuable assets?
Wow. I think just the pride that they take in their craftsmanship. I mean, I can tell you, I can shout out my entire staff complement. I would say about 80% of my staff have been with the company for over 30 years. And they it's truly a family. It's they love how we treat them and how we create that harmonious effect. And then, to be honest with you, the team are truly skilled. They have it in their hands, they have it in their hearts, in their heads, and they're really who make this thing come together. I just talk on radio shows and sound enthusiastic and try and put the pieces together, but they're the ones who really come together to make it work. And you see it on the cricket field or on the football field, and when we see it in the newspaper or we see it on TV, that pride is there, which keeps us going, keeps the wheels turning.
How can people find your business, Todd?
Could you say that once again?
How can people find your business?
Definitely. So, we're on social media. We're located in Kingston, 2 Central Avenue, Kingston 5, Swallowfield, where you can check us on our website, which is www.crimsondawnsports.com, or we're on Facebook, just / Crimson Dawn Sports. We're on Twitter, Crimson Dawn 75. Instagram, we're there as well. So, I mean, just look us up, at us, show some love, and we're there to custom design your next team's uniforms or your company's uniforms, and just reach out to us, and we're there for you, and we export to the entire Caribbean.
If you weren't doing this,
Mhm.
what other career would you like to have tried?
Wow, that's a tough one. I mean, I still think I was a good soccer player, and I would have loved to have played in the MLS. However, as you can see, I'm a little bit more portly, so so I had to use my brain instead of my foot. But I love playing soccer. Soccer is my all-time favorite sport. I played a little bit of cricket in high school, but I love soccer. So that's kind of where I think I would have been. But I would have been somewhere in terms of working in a sportswear company, whether it be in North America, in Europe, whether it be the big brands, Puma, Nike, Adidas. That's kind of where I always had my dreams set, you know?
There's a huge or there's a Caribbean contingent
Mhm.
sportsmen and women in Rio.
Yep.
What are your predictions for Jamaica?
Oh man. Well, I mean, I have to shout out the diver, the British Jamaican diver, Yona. He just won the silver medal in the 3 meter diving board. I mean, that's a huge achievement for Jamaica. And that just goes to show not only on the track, but we're making waves in every other area. I mean, we had a gymnast as well. Um, she's now ranked 9 out of 20. I think tonight she'll get a final positioning to know if she'll go on to the next heat. However, that just shows, I mean, I really expect my good friend Usain Bolt to make history once again, and Shelly Ann Fraser Price once again. Wish she could make history again. So I'm rooting for them. I'm behind them 100%, and I look forward to it. But I know we're going to have some new faces in the finish line as well. So big up to Jamaica every time. You know, the other Caribbean islands, I'm wishing them well. You know, go out there and represent for the Caribbean. We're rooting for you as well. So keep it up. We're gonna make some waves again in Rio. And
Let me put you on the spot a little bit, Todd. Right?
okay, no problem.
Put you on the spot. Um, Throughout the Caribbean, whether it's discussed at parties, is discussed behind closed doors or what, everybody says that Jamaica are one of the most patriotic group of people. Regardless of
We're,
where a Jamaican is,
we are the
Jamaica,
most patriotic.
yes. Let
I
me
mean,
finish the
I
question.
mean,
Let me
I
finish the
think,
question. Todd, can you hear me?
yeah, I'm hearing
All
you.
right, good. Let me finish the question.
Okay.
So I'm setting the question up. So it is believed that Jamaica is one of the most patriotic group of people. Regardless of where Jamaicans are, they support all things Jamaica and so on. Why do you think this is, and what can Jamaica teach the rest of the Caribbean in terms of patriotism?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, though, I think we all have it in us right throughout the Caribbean. I mean, when you talk to somebody from St. Lucia, hey, there's nowhere better than St. Lucia. When you talk to somebody from Grenada, you know, they're rooting for Grenada. And I think it's in all of us. I don't think there's anything that we as Jamaica need to teach anybody how to be patriotic. We just, you know, from we're at a young age, we are driven, and we hold a lot of pride in our culture, in our colors, waving that flag. And the athletes, to be honest, the athletes, the musicians, they carry us on their backs. They are the ones who are putting themselves in the forefront to make that headline and do well, you know. And yes, we do have a few Jamaicans that may make the wrong headlines. However, at the end of the day, we all try to carry the country on our backs, and that's what it boils down to.
And any political aspiration, Todd?
Currently, no. I mean, I think
You know what I'm
I
going to
think
say? I'm going to say here on live on this show is that um, tell your parents this company is in very good hands, very very capable hands. Right?
Well, thank you
I
so much,
I
man.
I
I
am
greatly
convinced
appreciate
after listening to the way you answer this question just now. Crimson Dawn Manufacturing is in excellent hands, and I hope the listeners agree with me. You
it.
are an
Wow.
you're an articulate, intelligent, passionate, and committed young man.
Wow, thank you very much, Selwyn, and I can't thank you enough for having me on this show to speak to the youth in Jamaica in business, looking to go into business, and the Caribbean, because I know you're far and wide, your reach, and I'm hoping that my little interview here has inspired someone to pick up a pen and write down an idea and implement it, and they can find ways and channels of putting it together. You know, there are so many funding agencies within the Caribbean, maybe even within the local countries, to help you develop these ideas into winners. You can be a winner for your country too, you know.
Todd, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, man, and I look forward to you having me on the show soon again, man.
Of
I'll be
course.
happy to do
Of
it.
course.
All right.
Good evening. Have a wonderful one.
Okay, you have a good weekend too.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye.